As Russia invades Ukraine and global markets waver, U.S. financial markets are flashing a key warning. They're in a correction. So what exactly is that? A correction is a 10% drop in stocks from their most recent high. And since peaking in early January, that's exactly what the S&P 500 index, the broadest gauge of the U.S. stock market, has fallen into. While there's been a fairly broad-based sell-off in the financial market since the beginning of this year, the S&P had been holding up well, said Ed Yardeni, president of Yardeni Research, a global investment firm. But the developments in Ukraine are weighing significantly across the board, he said. Will gas prices keep rising after Russia invasion of Ukraine? Here's what we know worldwide worries. Russia's attack on Ukraine amplifies stock sell-off after 4 straight days of declines. The S&P 500 reversed course and ended 1% higher on Thursday after the EU imposed more sanctions on Russia. Even though investors may have been anticipating it, the invasion of Ukraine by Russia this week is still a shocker, Yardeni said, as the EU now sees soaring gas and oil prices. But the shockwaves may not be over. We've certainly had corrections before, but not this early related to a geopolitical sea. A 10% dip is an indicator that wary investors are more skeptical about the market going forward, Yardeni said. Yardeni noted that most corrections end relatively quickly if the bad news turns out to be not as bad as expected. However, correction can also turn into a bear market, Yardeni said. A bear market is defined as a drop of 20% or more from a prior closing high. He noted that the previous bear market, at the start of the pandemic 2 years ago, was devastating, erasing over 30% in value from stocks in slightly more than a month. But stocks regained their previous peak form nearly 3 months later, he added. Yardeni said the main focus of investors and economists this year has been the Federal Reserve's likely plan to raise interest rates in order to rein in soaring inflation. But inflation may actually go higher, especially if supplies of food and energy are disrupted during the Russia-Ukraine conflict.